Hey folks, before we get started with this video, I just want to do a quick life update. My girlfriend's cat isn't doing particularly well right now. He's ended up at the vet a bunch of times, and we think he has pancreatitis right now. We're not 100% sure, but we think that's what's up. So I'm going to plug my girlfriend's side hustle today in hopes of, raising some money for our good cat friend Midnight. She does clothing reselling on this site called Poshmark. Essentially, she goes thrifting, buys clothes, like name brand stuff, and then resells them on this site for a discount. So if this is something that sounds interesting to you, this will be the top thing in my video description every day this week. Consider checking it out, or if you have any female friends who are into clothing, maybe pass it their way. Or if you're interested to supporting the cause, but you're not really interested in clothes, you can use my usual donation information to throw some support that way. Just, make sure it's clear that it's for the cat or vet bills or something for tax purposes. All right, let's get on with the show. Hello, folks. Phil Gallagher here. Okay, so today's donation deck list requires a little bit of a story. I got an email from Sean K, who said, "Hey, Phil, I have an idea." And I went, "Oh? I would like you to play your least favorite deck." Okay, yeah, I can be bribed. But I want you to not complain about the deck, except in the deck tech and the outro. Ooh. Alright. Challenge accepted. This one is going to be a little bit weird. So for any longtime followers of my content, the deck that I hate with a passion of 1,000 burning suns is Merfolk. I hate this deck, and I'm just going to let it all out right now, and then we'll put on a smile and play the league like we're a happy Merfolk player. I just think this deck is awful. It doesn't do anything good. All right, here we go. So this is a deck list that top 8'd a challenge, by the way. I think it was about 2 weeks ago at the time that I'm recording. And I just think it's like misbuilt to all hell. So this deck is running like 12 islands or something like that, and it's not bothering to split them with snow-covered islands so that you're worse against Predict. The numbers here are super wonky, like 3 Chalice of the Void, 2 Dazes, like you're not quite committing to any one plan. You're playing Chalices alongside 1-drops and Aether Vials, so like you have the dis-synergy there. You want to be Aether Vialing in your creatures, but some of these creatures that have something like Kicker are not particularly good unless you actually cast them, which is terribly awkward. And ultimately, I believe that like Merfolk is one of the worst Aether Vial decks, because you don't do anything as good as one of the other decks. You don't have the endgame utility of goblins. You don't have the endgame inevitability like Death and Taxes has. You don't have as much redundancy of lords and protection effects as something like Sliver does. And you end up in this awkward position where you're trying to be a Chalice deck and a Vial deck and a deck with counter magic at the same time, and you're playing a blue deck that doesn't actually play cantrips, and that leaves you in a really awkward position. Now, a lot of your tricks as well are like super situational and niche, and that results in you having a lot of relatively dead cards. So for example, Harbinger of the Tides, if your opponent isn't playing creatures and you're paired against combo, this is a slightly harder to cast than normal 2/2 for 2 mana. Similarly, like Merfolk Trickster sometimes can do some really cool blowout things, and then you play against combo, and it's like, why am I doing this to myself? And then we get to the sideboard, where 8 of the slots of this is dedicated to Paradigm Shift and Thassa's Oracle, and so you can assemble both of these in order to just win the game in your 0 cantrip, 0 tutor deck. Oh wait, I guess technically we can count Silvergill Adept as a cantrip, depending on what your philosophy on cantrips is. And then if we look at our sideboard cards, Flusterstorm, Hydroblast, Relic, Grafdigger's Cage, that all would get countered by our Chalice of the Void. Okay, so basically I fucking hate this deck. I hate everything about how this is built. I hate everything about how it plays out. And now I am going to put on a happy smile and pretend like I am a Merfolk player and do my best to not get tilted over my own deck. It is going to be a little bit of a challenge. I hope you enjoy this interesting challenge. If you do, please click the like button. It's one of the easiest ways to support me for free. If you're new here, consider following for legacy, modern, and vintage content 5 days a week. And if you, for some unknown reason, want to play Merfolk, check out the video description for the link as well as my donation information. John, what have you done? Okay, I have to decide whether or not I want to keep this hand. This is a hand that could do cool things, or more than likely does nothing. So this is an Ether Vial hand with only one creature, and it's a creature that I want to cast, and I also have a Chalice of the Void that I would want to cast on the same turn that I would want to be casting Tide Shaper. I think this hand is a mulligan despite having one of the best cards in the deck. Okay. So I can go turn 1 Vial, turn 2 2/2. Turn 3 3/1. I all right. Here's to hoping we draw a Lord or something that makes this hand keepable, because this hand isn't really good enough where it's at right now. Time was years ago that like a True Name Nemesis sticking was just going to be game over, but now so many decks can gain life with things like Uro or just clock you out fast with multiple Delver caliber cards. So things aren't just like over when you stick a True Name anymore. All right, we got a Jace the Mind Sculptor for our trouble. That's the good news. My opponent's Bonder is no big of a deal. This thing only has Flash if I pay 4 mana for it, so this is just going to be a main phase 2/2, unless I can do something else about it. Okay. I could take them off of that. I could take them off of red. I suppose that's better. Cast with Kicker. I'll just play this into days, like that's whatever. You're an island. I mean, you were an island before, but now you're like more an island. I'm not sure if I am actually supposed to play True Name on curve. We've seen this Jace, which makes me think that my opponent is in a Daze deck, but Volcanic Island plus Jace isn't super common right now. So this could be a Miracle style deck, and we just saw like a one of Volcanic Island that's used for Pyroblast in the sideboard or for Prismatic Endings sorts of things. Or it could be some sort of like Dragon Rage Channeler Expressive Iteration mush that just went a little bit bigger than normal for Jace. It'll probably take me a couple of turns to figure out the actual answer to that question. Okay. I guess let's go ahead and crash in. I don't have a Lord, so I'll just go ahead and do this now. How does the restriction on this card work? Is it an island as long as I control Tide Shaper? Yeah. Okay, so it can come back later. If my opponent has a Terminus on top, I don't want to walk my True Name into it. So I'm just going to cast this and reveal the Harbinger, which I don't particularly think is going to be strong in this matchup. Okay, that's the end of my turn. Okay, my opponent fetched. Good news for me. Plateau. Interesting. Okay, yep. So, Expressive Iteration, mush, confirmed. So if I'm seeing Plateau, I'm much less likely to think that my opponent has something like a Terminus, and I'll probably play my True Name next turn. Okay, there's a Prismatic Ending. My opponent can eat my Tide Shaper, which gives them their Volcanic Island back. Okay. Yeah, this card, never mind. Alright, there it goes. So now this is an Island Mountain again. Okay, another True Name is totally good. Get in there, little 2/1, buddy. Opponent goes to 13. I'll try to slam one of these. Oh, nice. It just resolved. So it has protection from my opponent. My opponent currently has no clock, and I don't know how many answers they're actually going to have to this. Notably, that was a Savannah from my opponent. They are all sorts of colors. Okay, there's a Snapcaster Mage. That's not actually super potent right now. Oh, my opponent says, man, I play this card like it's Ponder way too often. Yeah, happens all the time. Okay. My opponent says, at some point, I am just bad. Nah, I don't really think so. This is one of those things like that you would never ever mess up on paper, but like there's some things like a Liliana Ultimate that like when you do it on Magic Online, it's just like a little hard to deal with. Alright, neat. The Lord here is pretty good. I'm totally fine with this happening. I'll crash in for 7. If my opponent has a removal spell. They're at 6. What happened with this Ponder? Okay, my opponent shuffled with the Ponder. Do I just play out Harbinger of the Tides? Yes. And this allows me to still have lethal next turn through a spot removal spell. Because if Master of the Pearl Triton was removed, I would only have 5 damage, and then my opponent would get another turn cycle. I think I'm fine with committing another creature to the board. I still have another sticky True Name Nemesis for if my opponent does something crazy like a Supreme Verdict. But I don't super know what to be watching out for from my opponent here. Okay, there's a Ponder from my opponent. Okay, that is not a shuffle. So they might have found something that gives them another turn. Red-green. This could be literally anything right now. Like, I could be Tribal's Flames here. Okay, that puts my opponent to 8. Okay, they get a Taiga. They remove this. I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. I mean, I'll put my opponent to 1. That's fine. Get in there. And I guess I am supposed to play this out. I just get absolutely savaged if Terminus is a card that's in my opponent's deck, but if I'm going to play around Uro plus a removal spell, I really need the extra body in play here. Please don't have a Wrath. Seems like this is just Uro, though. You know, just Uro. My opponent goes up to 4. They can make a land drop. I still just kill them with True Name Nemesis through this. So I don't know. Well, I guess they could Swords to Plowshares their own Uro after blocks. That would keep them alive. Okay, my opponent played a Flooded Strand and then passed there. Okay. What is your move? Okay, so you have to hit a Terminus here? You did not hit a Terminus? Okay, yep, alright. I don't even know if Terminus is in their deck. That's a great bluff if they don't have Terminus. Chalice isn't particularly good against an expressive iteration like Prismatic Ending, Uro deck. I'm probably going to pull these out, like play some stuff that helps deal with Uro, like Relic of Progenitus. I don't think I want this stuff. Do I want Grafdigger's Cage? Well, I guess I need to fill a slot. That's fine. Could play like Dismember or Flusterstorms and have those be reasonable, but I don't think I'm going to. I don't love like this stuff. It's not like, ooh, these are the haymakers that I want, but these fill a need here. I think it's fine. So I'm going to be keeping this hand, but this hand has some problems. So like I have a Tide Shaper, but I'm probably going to put it in off an Ether Vial, so I'm not going to get the kicked ability. I have Merfolk Trickster, but it's probably just going to be a 2/2. I'm really leaning hard on this Master of the Pearl Trident to make the hand like truly keepable. But as long as the Vial doesn't get countered or Prismatic Endinged, I'm okay. If I lose the Ether Vial, this hand looks pretty rough. Alright, that's no shuffle with that Ponder. Alright, Vial go. Okay, my opponent has Dress Down in that pile as well. Alright, we probably lose this game at this point. It's not good. Yup. Alright, I think it's probably more important to stick this Relic of Progenitus and start working with it than it is to put a 2/2 into play. But missing this land drop after having the Ether Vial countered is rough. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not going to just daze something for the sake of dazing something. If I draw something like an Ether Vial, it's much more important that I try to protect that or try to counter a Jace that gets active. Okay. I'll take a card out of your graveyard. I will play this Tutor. I think my opponent was F6 there, so I know they don't have counter magic. That's nice. Okay. 7 cards in hand. Do I want to offer this trade? Not really. I'd prefer to like do the whole island walk thing. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna pass the turn. I can consider cracking the Relic of Progenitus on their end step in order to try and make a land drop. I'm not sure if I actually want to do that, but it's something to keep in mind. Junk a card from their graveyard. will be the Flooded Strand. This Daze is also quite awkward right now, because I want to play a 2-drop as soon as I draw a land. Okay. Yeah. That is very much tempting me to just nuke the Relic of Progenitus now. My opponent can't get it out of there. I think I need to try to hit this land drop. I am very fucked. Okay. I not cast my spells. Can't do it. All right. I'm gonna discard a day. No, I guess I can hard cast that. Discard a Merfolk Trickster. Question mark. Okay, that is a Jace. I could double daze that. I think I'm gonna start by trying to force a will it. Let's pitch this card. Okay, it worked. Seems like that's about to be a prismatic ending. Question mark. Why is this taking so long to pay for? It must be prismatic ending. Nope. Okay. Okay. Okay, that is a great draw. I will name Merfolk. So if I was playing in paper, I would have draw stepped, wastelanded that Tundra. But I'm not playing in paper. And I don't keep draw step stops set most of the time. I guess I want to do this now. Let's see if my opponent wants to fire off something on this Tide Shaper. They're representing it. I'll end up dazing this. Okay. Use Horse of Plowshares, I daze. Yep. Turn this island. And now I won't have access to the second daze, unfortunately, because Cavern of Souls is not an island. So that is what it is. Okay. Or Jace. Sure. So like the big scary thing here is my opponent having Terminus. If my opponent doesn't have Terminus, I probably just get to kill them. On the other hand, if they do have Terminus, I will most assuredly just perish. Here's the prismatic ending, I'm guessing. Oh no, it is another Swords of Plowshares, which I cannot daze. Okay, another island is totally fine. Alright, there is a Master of the Pearl Trident. I think I need to go ahead and kill Jace. The consequences are just so high if I'm wrong. And, like, my opponent does have things like Terminus in their deck. Yep. Alright, cool. Daze does me no good here. Hopefully this true name can go all the way. My opponent has shown me Dress Down, so my opponent can do some wiggling and kill a true name in some circumstances. Oh. Sure. Okay, Caracas is whatever. Merfolk Trickster doesn't really do anything, but I have uncounterable true name. That is most certainly worth something. I have passed the point in the game where my daze is likely to do anything for me. Oh, it looks like my opponent is just playing a land and passing, though. Play more things into a Terminus. Don't mind if I do. Alright. Right? Okay. It is successful. Alright. No second Terminus. That's the good news. Bad news is my opponent is in the range where they can hardcast a Terminus if that's something that they need to do. Yep, that just resolves. Okay. Alright. Hopefully Sticky True Name just gets there. 3. Put my opponent to 10. I think since this has Flash, I'm more likely to care about this one as the game goes longer. I mean, I guess this one technically does too, but I think I'm less likely to care about this thing's ability. There's some times where I might use like a Merfolk Trickster to tap down an Uro or something like that, and that can be more relevant. Yeah, that's just another land from my opponent. That's really good news for me. Now let's try to hit in for half my opponent's life total. Send him. Okay. Yep, not a lot I can do about that immediately. So that is going to resolve, and then I'll do Merfolk Trickster shenanigans. Alright. So I'll Merfolk Trickster. Tap down my opponent's creature so I don't lose something in combat. Oh, need to turn off auto yields there. They go to 5. I'll play Ether Vial. I have lethal through Endurance. All I have to do is dodge something like a Terminus this turn. Whew, didn't lose the comedic timing. Okay. GG's, we took down round 1. This seems pretty bad. I can't cast Lord of Atlantis. I have 2 chalices when I probably only want 1. I have a Daze, and if I use this Daze to return lands to my hand, I'm just, like, so far behind. I don't think this hand is keepable, despite having a mix of lands and spells that's acceptable. Um, yeah, I guess we're keeping this. So the question is, like, what goes back? Is it an island, or is it, like, say, Silvergill Adept? I guess technically it could also be Force of Will. I think it's an island. Just hope to draw another land naturally at some point throughout the game. I think I just need the safety net that this offers. Okay, do I want to Force of Will this so that my opponent doesn't have card selection for their stuff? I don't think so. I think I want to Force of Will removal spells. Wasteland. Ooh, I am being tempted here. So the idea is that if I Wasteland my opponent and they don't have another land, they don't get like all their Dragon Rage Channeler selection going. Sure. Let's attempt to steal a free one here. It's obviously not the best for me if they do have a threat, but I think in theory I should clock faster than my opponent clocks, and I'll take something that gives me, you know, an absolutely free win, you know, 20 or 30% of the time. Ooh, this is quite good. So we're gonna fight here. Okay, yep. And the fighting begins. Floating a red mana, casting a Daze. If you have main deck Reb, like, good on you. But I think I'm going to go ahead and force this. I'm not sure what to pitch. I think I just want to go aggro and keep these two, rather than taking the extra card that Silvergill offers. Okay, they did not have the immediate, like, main deck Reb or something like that to punish me. Alright, I'll take another one. That's totally fine. So, like, my next big question is, like, is there a world where I want to hardcast the Tide Shaper? I think the answer is no. Okay, island, not the draw that I'm looking for. I don't think I want to cast this and try to neuter the Valk. I think that's too risky. Yeah, I think I'm just going to take my 2 uncounterable creatures and leave it at that. Alright. I mean, let's do it. Yes. Put in a 2/2. Do you have a lightning bolt? You do have a lightning bolt. That's fine. That means my lord gets to live, which I am good with. Opponent surveilled a Delver of Secrets into the yard. Yes. Ooh. I think I do cast one of these. I think attacking with both of these next turn is pretty important, and I don't know. I just have a gut feeling that my opponent doesn't have a counterspell. Please just, like, gut shot it and let me, like, get a spell for free. There's another lightning bolt. Okay, can't stop that. Still 3 card types in graveyard. Definitely getting to the point, though, where I am afraid. Alright, I mean, I don't have too much agency here, so I think I just have to go for things. Third lightning bolt. Third lightning bolt. Okay. I'm at 15. And I am in top deck mode. I think my opponent has a Murktide Regent they were starting to pay for, and then realized they only have 1 untapped mana. So that's no bueno for me. Oh. Okay, sure. Okay, they junked a Ragavan, which makes sense given that this Chalice is about to happen. Alright, does my Chalice resolve? It does. I don't think it matters. I think I'm about to get Murktided and then just lose in 2 turns. Okay. It was an expressive iteration, not a Murktide. That is, I suppose, the good news. Okay, Force of Will entered the exiled zone, which is no big deal for me. I'll take 3. Yeah. I guess we're leaving this at 2. Cool. Alright. I mean, I'll cast another one, but this doesn't impact the board. I'm dying to this thing in just a couple more turns. Okay, more expressive iteration. Yeah, my opponent has a wasteland. That's no big deal currently. I'm down to 9. At this point, I don't even know that I can clock my opponent before they can kill me. I guess this buys me 3 life. The purely Surveil Dragon Rage Channeler. I'll activate my Vial. Yes. Do this, tap that down. Guess I could have gone for a mid-combat ambush because it loses its power and toughness upgrades. Yeah, that's probably what I should have gone for. I've conceptually given up on this game in case it's not clear. Alright, so I'll bash in for 2. And next turn I'll do it in combat. Yes. Oh, it looks like we might actually get to eat it. Okay, it worked. How did my opponent actually factually have Stone Cold nothing? And I'm going to turn this game around and win? It's a miracle if that actually happens. But I am just so absolutely Stone Cold dead to my opponent drawing a Murktide. We're going to keep this at 2, since I have more lords and stuff at 2 than I have things like True Names. Exhibit A. Back in. And blockers, activate. Yes. Master. Alright, my opponent's dead next turn if they don't draw something relevant. Okay, cool. We have to do that again. Alright, how do I want to board? I don't mind Hydroblast, I don't mind Dismember. Do I want to play Relics? I probably want to play Relics. I'm not sure if I want to Flusterstorm. I think my dazes are way worse than my opponent's dazes, so my 2 removal spells are coming in for those. And now it's a question of, like, do I want to play the Relic? It's another decent turn 1 play. Is this a 3/4 flyer? Oh, why did I think this flies? Alright, it doesn't fly. It's a 3/4. I don't know what to do with my other slots. Like, Chalice can mise games, but it makes some of my best cards and some of my sideboard cards that I'm going to bring in worse. Am I supposed to, like, not play Chalice on the draw? Is that what this looks like? Play Relic on the draw? I don't know, my opponent has so many 1-drops. That's the easiest way for me to just steal a game for free. Am I supposed to not board Relic? I just board out Tide Shaper. It's kind of whatever. Let's try this. This hand is unexciting, but I'm going to keep it. I don't have a turn 1 play, which kind of sucks, but I have a Cavern of Souls, which goes a long way if my opponent does not have Wasteland. Oh, nice. That would probably be my best possible draw. And it resolved. Hot diggity dog. Okay. White bordered island, I respect it. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Oh, fun art. Merfolk. And just draw a card here. I'll just draw a card here. I'll reveal one of the masters. Found more land, which is nice because Wasteland is something that will happen if my opponent has it. The Delver player does not let, like, the tribal player keep a Cavern of Souls if they can help it. Okay, that's fine. Sure. I'll always yield to that. Okay, they've made their land drop. So the question now becomes, what do I want to resolve when I know I am going to resolve something? Like, I could 100% resolve True Name Nemesis here. If I want to just press my board advantage, the best thing for me to probably do is just play Master of the Pearl Trident and attack in. I think I am going to just do that. And then I can do a Master and a Merfolk Trickster next turn. It's hard for me to lose the Silvergel in combat this turn without trading. My opponent would need to, like, fetch and then surveil a creature into the graveyard. Okay. They did not surveil a creature into the graveyard, so that's still just 3 cards. 3 card types. That's fine. So in my next turn cycle, I have a Master of the Pearl Trident and a Merfolk Trickster. That's fine. Sure. Ooh, Unholy Heat. And that was sent away, which is interesting to me. A Delver. Sure. Okay, I'll take 1. And play Delver. Okay, sure. So I could play this turn, giving my Merfolk Ward, and then play, like, Master Trickster in the following turn cycle. I could also still just force through this True Name Nemesis. That's pretty annoying. But I think I am somewhat likely to be on the back foot soon. I'm not sure. But I think I like getting this whole ward thing going. And drawing cards is always nice, too. I'm fine with offering Silvergill for Delver. My opponent does not accept. Yeah, they are also viewing themselves as the aggressor here. Okay. That's fine. Alright, they pay for it. So now my small creature dies. If Delver flips. Delver flips to a Braid, which is not the greatest for me. Alright, so I end up taking that damage. Wouldn't mind another Cavern. Not quite. Not super great against Daze. I want to play 2 creatures in a turn cycle, which I kind of do. I don't know. I can just play True Name this turn, or I can go for Recombat Master of the Pearl Trident, crash in. If my opponent tries to get tricky with, like, block, grow, I can flash in Merfolk Trickster. Maybe I'm supposed to do that. That line is just a little bit worse against the Abrade that I already know about. Let's try to crash in for 4. Alright, Island. Alright, so my opponent takes that. So I'll play this. Now, do I want to play a spell around Daze, or do I want to get the Aether Vial out there? I think I want to play Merfolk Trickster around Daze. I have just, like, not given my opponent Daze targets this game because I've been playing everything off Cavern. I think I'm going to do this pre-combat and attempt to tap down Delver, rather than try to ambush a Dragon Rage Channeler mid-combat. Well, I guess I'll know whether or not the Dragon Rage Channeler will be, like, turned on pre-combat. Okay, so this is... Oh! Then a Braid on my Sylvain. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, now there's an attempt to Lightning Bolt it, so I'm going to try to make it indestructible. Here we go, Merfolk Trickster. And so my opponent could have double Daze here. I'll pay. Do you have the second one? Yep, I mean, that was somewhat likely. So I can't pay for this one. Alright. I'll take 3. Okay, sure. A Force of Will. That's not really great right now. 3 card types. 3 card types. I guess I have Merfolk Trickster to bail me out if my opponent can throw this mid-combat. Hit. Alright, my opponent goes to 9. I will cast an uncounterable True Name Nemesis. Target you. And I think I cast Aether Vial rather than hold up casting Merfolk Trickster. I'm pretty likely to just close out this game over 2-ish turns. That's probably worth countering. Okay. Did you have all 4 dazes? Or is this like Desperation Surveil? Okay, it is Desperation Surveil. Somehow, magically, this Dragon Rage Channeler still is not a 3/3, which I am extremely thankful for. Extremely thankful for. Oh, beautiful. I guess I'm still attacking with Master of the Pearl Trident. So I still just have lethal over 2 turns. I can still just, like, lose to a Lightning Bolt, though. Although, if my opponent had shenanigans, they should have just removed this on my turn. Or their turn, rather. Yeah, they're just eating it. They go to 3. I will play a second True Name Nemesis. And I will die if my opponent can flip Dragon Rage Channeler as well as Lightning Bolt me. That's the thing that beats me. Alright, I think we got pretty lucky. This Dragon Rage Channeler just, like, absolutely never found the 4th creature type. We'll take that. We're 2-0. Okay, opening hand is fine. I believe I'll be keeping this. We don't have a 1-drop play, but there aren't a ton of those in the deck, so that's kind of to be expected some portion of the time. I really need the 3rd land for this hand to take off, but double True Name Nemesis should be pretty good against most things. Oh? Do I care? I don't know how much I care. The answer is I care an absolute shit ton, or I don't care at all, and I'm not sure which it is. So, when I don't know, I tend to just Force of Will it. It is my hope here that a pair of True Name Nemesis just absolutely craps on an Urza Saga deck that mulliganed this deep. Alright, Saga ticks up. Alright. You do your thing. Okay? Okay? Alright, yeah. They have the thing that makes me care about the cookbook. Okay, sure. That's annoying. That means that they can just kill my Master of the Pearl Trident. That is what it is. I also get an epic crap ton of food. All right. I am not worried about counter spells from my opponent, so I'm just going to go ahead and play this land. I don't know whether or not like Wasteland is something that my opponent is playing, so the longer I can hold off on playing Cavernous Souls, the better. So my opponent did not get any, whatchamacallits, constructs out of that Urza Saga, which is good news for me. All right, let's just always yield to that. This Master of the Pearl Trident is not long for this world. Oh, a third Underworld cookbook. Sure. Oh, that I care about a lot. Those tokens will be very large. So we're gonna be taking our time here. So that was my opponent eating 2 foods in order to make my critter do 6 damage to itself. All right. Oh, Tide Shaper though is super clutch here. We're gonna do that this turn. Oh wait, this is as God damn it. All right, sorry, I'm not supposed to complain. This is for as long as Tide Shaper remains on the battlefield. So I'm wait, no, this does work. So I turn it into an island. State-based effects are checked, and this land gets destroyed, and then my opponent gets the opportunity to do this. Okay, no, so I can go ahead and kick this, and it does the thing that I want it to do. Okay, never mind. Wait, what happens if they remove right here, though? Well, I guess we're going to find out. Does it just cancel the ability? Okay, it just cancels the ability and does nothing. All right, cool. All right, so Urza Saga ticks up. Okay, it looks like my opponent still just doesn't have mana. They make their 3 foods. Crash in for 3. Okay. I will play 1 fish person. It looks like miraculously my opponent is still just like not going to get any Urza Saga tokens, which is a huge boon for me because I have not a lot going on here. This is kind of why I don't like the food deck. I played it in Modern a couple of times, and it just felt like I was doing my thing, and it just didn't matter. Right? So like this is turn 5. I have not done anything meaningful this game, and my opponent has also just like not like they're doing their thing, but their thing means they get to make food, not win the game. Oh, I can't beat that. I'm stone cold dead to that in game 1. I'm just gonna double check that I'm right. Yeah, I'm stone cold dead to that in game 1 once that happens. Well, that sucks. I'll hit my opponent for 3. I'll do their food thing a couple times. Okay, they milled their pithing needle. Alright. Yeah. Sure. And now it's just a question of like, do I actually want to play out this game? I'm technically not dead yet. But I think realistically I'm dead. I'm going to concede because if I play out this game, I am going to lose my mind. Oh. So about removing an ensnaring bridge. We can't. So I guess that means I need to board in this package. I don't feel like Daze is particularly strong. Alice is maybe respectable on the play, but I have to make some cuts somewhere. The issue is if they just like get a cookbook or an Asmore into play, like they don't super need the rest of their 1-drops. I'm gonna junk this. Like I have to bring in 8 cards, and I think I'm just gonna respect that. And I guess I'll board out Tide Shapers. The next question becomes like, do I want to play a relic? I think I'll just keep a Tide Shaper. This hand is fine. Land, Vial, go. Plateau. Sure. Opponent's deck design is neat. I will give them that. I wonder what the white is for. I wonder if they have like some Bomberman elements in there too. Aether Grid. Oh, baby. Be still my beating heart. Let's take up this Ether Vial. So I put this on Merfolk. That part's easy. I think I want to Vial in this Master next turn because I get to attack for 1 more point of damage if I do it that way. So I'll just cast Merfolk Trickster on my opponent's end step. Okay. I assume I just stop this. It's the Harbinger of the Tides. Okay. And that occurs. And so now in all likelihood, I'm going to have to assemble a 2-card combo that I have no cantrips to put together in order to win. Alright, I will cast this critter. Pick up Ether Vial. Sure. Guess let's just cast this. Actually, no, I want to Ether Vial this in. That way, I draw a land, I can have the option to play this. Do I want to play Master of the Pearl Trident is another thing. It makes my creatures bigger, which I know sounds like a good thing. But if Ensnaring Bridge is involved, it's not actually necessarily a good thing. So my goal here is that I can do some chip damage and then attack, put in Master of the Pearl Trident, and get lethal. Oh no, I wanted my opponent to have things in hand that they would have to use Ancient Tomb mana to put into play. Okay, yeah. Oh no, they can play more cards. That means my 2 power creatures are not going to get to attack immediately. Sure. Tanglewire. Okay. Tanglewire plus double Goblin Engineer is definitely cute. I'm going to always know this. Alright, my creatures can't attack. Alright, am I going to play out Master of the Pearl Tridents? Yeah, I think at this point I have to win via that stupid combo. So I think I'm just going to dump all this stuff into play. And we're going to settle on in for a very long game. Here's to hoping that my opponent just kills themselves with Ancient Tomb. The Underworld Cookbook will make it hard for them to kill themselves with Ancient Tomb, though, if I'm being realistic. Oh god. Okay. Exile up to 2 artifacts or enchantments, but this can't bring it back. So they're gonna get an Underworld Cookbook. Okay, I mean, there's half of what I need. If I get a second Thassa's Oracle, I can use the first Thassa's Oracle to actually try and scry towards, whatchamacallit? The shift? Paradigm shift, there we go. We can also work towards timing out our opponent or decking them. Those are valid options. I guess I'll just vial this in. Oh my god. I mean, we'll take this. This was exceptionally lucky, and I don't think you need me to tell you that. Okay, Saga is fine. Double Oracle. Do I wait? I don't... Is their last card really going to be like an Abrade for Ether Vial? Let's assume no. That's a little frustrating. That is a little frustrating. Alright, Urza Saga ticks up. I'll have constructs to worry about. I'm going to try to scry towards another paradigm shift. Alright, here we go. Put a card on top of your library. I pick paradigm shift. Alright. Good stuff. I cast paradigm shift. Only 2 cards in there. I activate my Aether Vial. Yes. I put in Thassa's Oracle. Okay, cool. Alright, do I want to do anything differently on the draw? So for example, on the draw, do I want to have like a Dismember or a Hydroblast for Asmore? I don't know that I actually do. Tide Shaper is odd. On the draw, maybe it's more important as an answer to Urza Saga in the non-Osmore situations. I could see that. Oh, like it's... so many of my cards are just like kind of awkward. Like Harbinger of the Tides, for example, is good against construct tokens, but like kind of bad against a lot of the rest of the stuff that's going on with the deck. I don't know. Like maybe we go down on some of this stuff and keep the Tide Shapers on the draw because it's more important to answer an Urza Saga. I guess I just keep a hand that has a paradigm shift. Like that's half of the way that I'm going to win. I don't love that. At the same time, I don't know that that is what is worth Force of Willing. It's good. Do I just waste this immediately? My opponent can bring it back later. I don't know that I want to start enabling welder shenanigans immediately. I think I am just going to play out my Ether Vial. Well, it's just like playing Urza Saga. Let me tide shape some stuff. Nope, okay. Plateau. Well, fuck me, I guess. That is a punish for not answering welder. Now they just make a critter. And it gets to exile my Ether Vial. Cool. Alright, let's get lucky and draw Thassa's Oracle plus land. No? Okay. Cool. Cool. How do I win? I believe I am literally on I need Thassa's Oracle plus land as my next 2 draw steps. This is a 5/7. My opponent gets the first attack. I am not going to naturally outclock this. So I believe I want to not play Tide Shapers and hold up double Force of Will rather than play out anything else. That's super unfortunate. Alright, I take 5. Down to 15. Your looting is fine. I am not going to attempt to stop that. Tangle Wire. Fuck. Yeah. Sure don't get to stop Tangle Wire. I guess I counter this. Just speeds up their clock by a turn. But my opponent gets to just, like, weld. Yeah. Okay. I believe I am now on 0 outs. I am in fact confident that I am on 0 outs because like I brought in a Hydroblast, maybe a Dismember or something that doesn't actually answer this. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna concede here. GG's. Cool deck opponent. This is an easy mulligan. Just no mana. I guess we keep this one and pitch Daze. This hand isn't super exciting. It's bad against Wasteland. Okay. I think it's also bad against like Ancient Tomb. Oh shit. Yeah. Okay. Merfolk. Yeah, so if my opponent just goes Ancient Tomb, yeah. Come. Alright, let's play this. I think I'm playing a Lord of Atlantis here. And Harbinger of the Tide away the first Urza Saga construct. I don't really know what to do about the second right now. My opponent's creatures are gonna be bigger than my creatures. Well, they're gonna get a 1 and it's gonna be bigger than my creatures. I'll need like a Merfolk Trickster or something in order to kill this second one. See if we see like a Shadow Spear or a Retrofitter Foundry. Like I don't have a ton of information about what my opponent is playing. Okay, it is Shadow Spear. Yep. I think I just let that happen. Fuck me. Okay. Okay. So are you an Echo deck? In which case I get to like Force of Will and Echo. Oh, you're an Emery deck. I probably need to stop that. I think I need to do it like this. And if they have an Echo afterwards, they have an Echo afterwards. Okay. They could equip Shadow Spear right now. White. Okay, that's just a random color. That's fine. This hurts though. Like I get hit for 6, and my opponent pulls ahead. Okay, cool. So I can kill both constructs that are on board now. There is a problem here, and that is the other 2 constructs that are coming. All right, so I junk that one. Yes. We don't get to attack here. And my opponent, like, because my opponent got a hit in with Shadow Spear, they've already offset their 2 or really 3 Ancient Tomb activations. Not good for the home team here. I'm going to very handily lose this match and probably this round. I just don't have stuff that beats this deck. Just like taking a quick look at my sideboard, like there's no artifact hate here, right? So I can either like try to keep playing my Merfolk game, or I can try to get lucky and Paradigm Shift. Oh god. How bad is it? Okay. Sorry, I was monologuing there. I wasn't paying attention to how many cards my opponent had. Alright, you know what? Like, I think I just scoop here. Like, I can get rid of this next turn, but then, like, all this stuff still happens. There's still another one. We're going down. Alright, so, am I going to try to play fair, or am I going to try to get lucky? Lucky, I think. I don't think my deck is better than my opponent's deck. I try to chalice on 0 on the play. Stop LEDs and such. That's probably fine. Let's maybe board out some of the medium quality aggressive stuff. Uh, uh, like, am I supposed to board down lords and just play a somewhat controlling game? Like, am I supposed to do something like this? Keep the tide shapers, the counter spells, the things that cantrip, my interaction. Sure, let's try that. Don't feel great about it. I'd also play Dismember over the last lord. I'm actually gonna do that. Okay, I have 1 land here. I have to mulligan this. This land doesn't work with days either. Honestly, this doesn't seem like it wins a game of Magic. I think I'm willing to go to 5 to look for a piece of the combo. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong and I just keep this. No, I'm gonna throw this back. I just feel so bad about the matchup that I think if I don't start with at least one of the combo pieces, I'm probably not going to win. Also, my opponent disconnected, so I might be hanging out here for a little while. But I'll cut that out for you. Okay, my opponent's back. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go to 5 and look for something with a combo piece. Lol, JK. I guess on 5, I just keep a reasonable hand. Like, I'll toss back Day's True Name or something and hope that I blow up some lands with Tide Shaper and do cool stuff. So the real question is, like, do I play a Tide Shaper on turn 1? There'll be a 2/2 on turn 2. I guess I will. Like, at least pretend that I'm going to play an aggro game. But I think this one is already over. Sure. Okay. So now my opponent. God. Okay. Tide Shaper this, get Island Walk for the future. Or I can just draw a card. My opponent probably echoes some portion of the time next turn. I'm just going to kick this. I've made myself considerably worse versus something like an Urza Saga. But, like, I can either better play around an Urza Saga or better play around an Echo, and I'm going to better play around the thing that they actively show me. Okay. There's the Bauble, which turns on Metalcraft. Yep. A Lord, so I have Island Walk would be kind of cool. Okay, that's a Thought Cast. Sure. Opal. We're going to see an Echo afterwards. No Echo. Okay. Trickster Matter next turn? Not really. I mean, it can technically do some things. I think I'm just going to do this now. Reveal this. I'm not going to play the Cavern of Souls in case I draw a Wasteland. And I'm immediately punished for my decision. Alright. I will hit for 4. My opponent is at 13 between these and the Ancient Tomb. That's, I guess, okay for me. I am hoping that my opponent echoes, because my hand will unquestionably get better. Shit. Okay, they're going for a Bauble. There it is. Another Bauble. Are you going to echo? I would like you to echo. I don't know how it feels from their side. They have multiple Baubles as redraw plus Sagas coming. Oh. Okay. There's now an LED in there, as well as Lotus Petal Bauble. That's a little scary. Go for the card draw? I think go for the card draw. Reveal the Merfolk Trickster that they already know about. Try to spike a land. Did spike a land. Send this in. Worth 4 points of damage. Merfolk Trickster is super awkward. My opponent is now going to get to cycle these 2 Baubles. Which temporarily takes them off of Metalcraft. I'm not going to try and Trickster the Emery because I can just target whatever in response. If they end up making a Urza Saga token on their turn, I want to be able to remove it. I might not straight up play Merfolk Trickster if my opponent doesn't do anything. But I imagine an Echo probably gets involved this turn, in which case I just play the Merfolk Trickster. Oh, that's scary. I probably cast this here. Just, like, turn this into an idiot for a turn. That way, if they echo, they don't just obliterate me immediately. I am hoping to top something that gives me Island Walk so I can kill my opponent. Otherwise, it's pretty hard for me to kill my opponent through Psi plus 2 Urza Saga Construct tokens. So this now costs 5. Hmm. Cool. And my attacks are no longer good. Good stuff. I guess the good news is it's kind of scary for my opponent to cast an Echo, so they might end up doing things slower. Sure. Where's my Island Walk at? Oh wait, hold on. I remember where my Island Walk is. Most of it's in my sideboard. Yup, cool. Yeah, this game is probably over then. Yeah. Yeah, I basically concede here. Like, my opponent gets Shadow Spear for minimum 8, probably 9, maybe more. That hit brings them out of easy lethal range, and then requires me to get multiple creatures. They also, like, can just, like, do flyers in the air as well, like, just discounting the fact that their creatures are bigger. Yeah, I probably die in roughly 2 turns. Also, Psi plus artifacts is making these things grow extremely quickly. I suspect that I am dead this turn to trample damage. I think my opponent double cracks LEDs here. Yeah. Again, like double crack LED, echo, crap a bunch of stuff, and I'll die to trample this turn. Or they can 2-turn it and not risk echo, which is totally valid as well. It looks like they're going to go that route. I'll take 15 to the dome. Yeah. I just don't have the tools for this matchup. Island. Okay. Concede. We can technically play a Silvergill Adept and then concede, but I think I'm good here. All right, final round. I am going to keep this hand. I think this player plays Oops All Spells, in which case this hand isn't the greatest. But this is a strong enough hand that I don't want to be wrong. Like, pitch an amazing hand when my opponent is playing something other than Oops. Okay. I'm going to let them do that. I'm going to try to get them to expend some number of resources. And then try to get a 2-for-1. Okay. Let's see if I got greedy and died. Okay. Alright. I mean, they had a turn 1 that beat a daze. They Livy. I mean, I guess I let it resolve, but... okay. Narcomoebas, Oracle, Dread Return, they do have packs. Alright, I'm dead. Concede. I'll take the Graveyard Hate. I'll take the Flusterstorm. I want this stuff. How much does, like, Harbinger do? Harbinger does nothing. Harbinger comes out. Trickster makes a creature lose abilities, but the things they're doing are triggers, which that isn't going to stop. So I guess Trickster comes out too. At which case, I do not have enough cards in the deck anymore. Yeah, I don't feel great about this matchup. I'll play a Thassa's Oracle to fill this hole. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to Paradigm Shift Oracle. That just seems slower than just turning creatures sideways and killing my opponent. I don't know. The Silvergill Adepts also seem like my creature count isn't the highest for them. That's also not great for some low-hanging fruit decks. Or, sorry, jokes that I'm not allowed to make here because I'm being nice to Merfolk right now. Excuse me. Alright. Sure. Land. House on 0. Hold up Flusterstorm. Pass the turn. Fluster's not amazing because it doesn't counter all of their stuff, but, like, it theoretically should do some work. The issue is, like, if I want to be aggressive and actually kill my opponent, I need to tap out of Flusterstorm. Oh. Cool. Fuck my Flusterstorm, I guess. And my Force of Will. Cool. Guess Silvergill. Reveal you. Wasteland's not bad, but I can't play it this turn. Alright, kill me. End this Fish People League. I'm F6'd. I'm at your mercy. Alright, looks like we're dead now. Oh, maybe not. Alright, I lost the Force of Will. That's fine. I'm going to Wasteland this Black Source. Play a Lord of Atlantis. Bash in for 3. And here's to hoping that I can just kill my opponent before they assemble their combo. Alright, new Xantid Swarm. Fine. Oh wait, no, I need to do that the other way. Cast, reveal true name. That's a dead card. Crash in. These things can chump block. Looks like my opponent is going to do that with one of them. Okay. They're going to attempt to do things. Am I dead? Oh, nope. Still more bees. Alright, none of my cards have relevant text currently. Crash in. I can block, go to 2. That means that these lands are no longer live for mana because they cost my opponent 3 life. Oh my gosh, it's amazing we're alive. Okay, now, my opponent has Xantid Swarms. Do I want to play Dismember? No. No is the answer. I don't really want to do that. I might have to. Yuck. Just yuck. Just yuck. I am not pleased. I think trying to turn my creature sideways is better than opting into the paradigm shift plan, though. Eep? This one's really awkward. I think I want to force a will on the draw, if I can. Sure. Fetch an island here. I have no way to win the game, but hopefully my opponent doesn't start on Xantid Swarm. We're kind of hoping for the fail rate of my opponent's deck here. Oh, my opponent is going to 4. Yeah, if they just play Xantid Swarm, I will be so sad. Okay. Cool. Very happy about that draw. Okay. We got lucky. We 3-2'd this league. Overall thoughts on the deck list. It was fish people. Fuck the fish people. I hate the fish people. This deck was terrible and I hated playing it. I just don't like anything about this deck. I think the numbers are wonky. I didn't feel like I had great agency in my games when my opponent weren't playing island decks. I felt like my lords were medium. I feel like my average card quality is lower than the card quality of my opponent's cards. Just do not like in any way. Basically, if I were to do a debrief, I would just reiterate everything that I would say in the initial deck tech. I don't like the non-split of islands. I don't like some of these numbers. I hate this sideboard package. Like, there were some things, like, for example, the artifacts that my opponent was playing that I just had nothing to interact with, you know, no null rod or anything like that. I don't know. I hate it. If I were to make any changes, I would go minus 75 cards plus a new 75 cards. All right, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please click the like button. It helps me out a lot. If you want to get one of your own things on the stream, or heaven forbid you want to play this Merfolk list, that information is in the video description. Have a great rest of the day. See ya!